When I got the message, I literally was shocked. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Faith and I'm a product designer who loves to design usable products and also help people learn as well. If you are interested in anything design, freelancing and other essential skills to learn alongside, then this channel is for you. I got laid off from my first full-time role as a junior designer, and getting laid off all of a sudden actually came as a shock to me. And here are the things that I basically learned from all this, and here was how I actually bounced back. Before I got my full-time role, I actually had experience with freelancing, and when I mean experience, it wasn't the one that yielded good result. It was basically an experience that, it was more of, I was sending proposal, I was trying several platforms and several means and ways to actually get the project. I also got scammed like 3 times during that process. I had like a very, very bad experience freelancing, and it wasn't just something that I figured that I would be doing and getting a whole lot of result like I am currently. So after I got laid off, here is one thing I basically asked myself. I had to basically take myself back to the board, reevaluate myself and see how far I've grown, what are the things I've learned. And I realized one thing: because I was on a full-time role, even though it has the advantage and I was on a payroll, right? You don't have like a fluctuating income, you have like a fixed income, and it was quite nice. One of the things that I didn't do then, and I feel like if I had a mentor then, like a designer or something, I might have been told to basically use that time for like a whole lot of exploration. I was fixed on the task at hand. Like I was just focused on the work I was doing in the team currently and not exploring other things. So yeah, that was one of the major disadvantage. So after the whole being laid off process, I literally had to go back and reevaluate myself, because to be honest, you don't just how would I put it, yes, it might come as a shock and you might not be prepared. Not everyone is actually 100% prepared to be sent. Well, I say sent packing, no, but be laid off. Yeah. So I had to take myself back to my board. Like I would always say, I literally had to just evaluate every single thing that I was doing at the start and how far I've grown. And I had to write every single thing down. Now, the first thing I basically start asking myself is, what were the mistakes I made initially when I started freelancing? I was not getting the result. And what are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? What are the things that distract me? I literally just, take a break and had to write all these things down. It kind of gave me a clearer view on my plan moving forward. And I think that greatly helped me scale up fast when I went back into freelancing. When I started freelancing before my full-time role, then I basically was doing several platforms, unless I remember, there are these kind of sites where you see you'd see sites that would read 10 top freelancing platforms, blah, blah, blah. I basically registered on all those sites because I was working on like 10 different sites, 10 different platforms, and that was not making me get the result because I was not really focused. I was not learning how the platform works. That was one thing I basically discovered that I was doing wrong initially. Another thing was, why your targeted audience? I realized that I want to work with teams, I want to be able to work with large corporations as well, agencies as well, and I can only see that from the platform I ended up going with. There are several platforms out there I've basically worked on. I have profile on like platforms like Genie or platforms like Fiverr and platforms like Contra. There are so many platforms. I think I took a test on Top Tower as well, but that was before the whole full-time role. After I was laid off, I basically start asking myself, now that I want to go back into freelancing, what exactly do I want to do? I had to rewrite my CV all over again. I had to redo my profile all over again. I had to update my portfolio, and I realized that while updating my portfolio, I realized that I do not have so much experience. And that was like, I think it's going to 2 years of me being a designer, and the only experience I have is the industry I work with, the team I work with, and the previous short-term stuff that I've worked on, and they're not like really huge. So I had to do personal projects to convince people that I want to work with that I have worked in this other area. Because if you tell people you work for 2 years and the only experience you have is just that one particular thing, and it's like not really a big deal, it's like, okay, is that all? So I had to, work on having a very good portfolio. I had to also work on updating my CV, and I had to work on my strategy when it comes to platform. So there are other platforms that you can also choose to work on instead, but for myself, I decided to work on Upwork. But here are the mistakes that I feel like I made while working on my full-time role that basically made the whole laid off process kind of eat me and gonna set me back for a while. And the first one was, while I was working, I was basically not exploring other things, and I think I mentioned that before. I was not exploring other things. I was not trying to grow or try to learn. Then I was like, I was focused on the task at hand. And the thing is, you want to do it simultaneously. While you're focused on the task at hand, you also want to be, you want to stay in tune with what is going on out there, and also learn on how things are basically improving and changing. The second thing was that I was not working on other projects. Like, I had no other means of getting, other jobs or other projects. Even if you're working on that full-time role, you want to ensure that you have other side projects. Now, you just want to ensure that it's not basically, messing with your deliverable on your full-time role. But at the same time, you're just working on side job. It could be very short contract, a very small time. If I had something like that, I might not be very, very affected. And I do understand that once we are hired as a full-time designer, we're just focused on that time being, and it's basically good. But in cases where you feel like your job or your position can easily be out, and I feel it basically can happen to anybody, but if you know that it's something that you can get more jobs outside, you just want to be so comfortable and sticking to that one. I learned the hard way. Not really hard way, but yeah, I learned my lesson. So yeah, the last thing would be that while I was working on my full-time role, I literally was not sharing ideas online. Now, there is something a lot of people do on LinkedIn, and some people be like, oh my god, it's just overrated. That's not really overrated. I would say that in as much as people talk about the fact that they've not gotten opportunities on LinkedIn, I've gotten 2 opportunities or 2 jobs from LinkedIn directly, and it was after me being laid off, and I started interacting more, sharing my idea thought and sharing things just casually, and I actually had 2 clients from LinkedIn. So you want to be that person that even if you're working on your full-time role, you're still out there, you're still sharing ideas. It could be platforms on Twitter. I personally don't use Twitter, but it could be platforms on Twitter like LinkedIn, or places that that is like a community, and they see you as someone that is very good with whatever it is that you're doing. Overall, you just want to put yourself out there like the expert you are, and not just be laid back and just chill. Please don't do that. So if I had done that, actually, I feel like I wouldn't have to wait 4 months and try and have to refigure a lot of things. Although me trying to figure out the whole freelancing process also helped me as well. So it's more like a blessing in disguise as well. So I didn't know all these things. Now I do. Now, yeah, I basically the layoff that I'm talking about right now is like 2 years ago. So I'm just talking about the things that I had to pay attention. So currently, I've not really had any experience like that. And at the same time, I'm still someone that was sharing my thought process on platforms like LinkedIn. And yeah, thankfully, I have gotten opportunities from that. So if you're someone that also just want to start looking for opportunities out there, or rather you are someone that you're currently just laid off and you want to try freelancing, and I think based on what I've listed, but let me just list it again so you can basically take that down. And if you're interested in me doing a detailed video on how to optimize your profile on Upwork, do well to comment interested in this video, and I will do a detailed video on how to set up a proper Upwork account and the things that you need to put in place. And yeah, basically that video, just comment interested. So if you're someone that basically want to do that, here are the things you want to basically put in consideration. First off, do not rush all the platforms. Don't make the mistake of trying to be everywhere at the same time. You're going to get overwhelmed, you're not going to get results, and you're going to feel tired and exhausted at the same time. I had to pick just one platform, and the reason is that I had to pick the platform because I want to learn how the algorithm of that platform works, how you can get tangible results from the platform, and also set realistic goal. For me, that wasn't my first time freelancing, so I had prior experience. It was just me focusing my knowledge on one platform instead of 10 like I was doing as a beginner. Then I was doing like so many platforms, but right now I just focused on one, and I had to learn every single thing about that platform. Learning about one platform gives you in-depth knowledge on how that platform works, how to get results from the platform, and the best time to send proposal and stuff like that, the little detail. So just pick one platform that you feel like you know very well, or you can learn very well, or you have someone that knows how to, because guidance from people that have similar experience from that platform also is highly needed. So if it is some platform else that you have someone that does it very well, just hold the person by the neck and ask the person to basically teach you. So another step you want to basically do if you're looking to basically be a freelancer, you want to also learn things like soft skills like communication. It is highly needed in this case, because you want to know how to communicate your deliverables, you want to learn how to communicate your value, and also pricing. You want to learn how to create strategy. You want to learn a whole lot of things. I might talk about conversion as well. So if you are interested in the video, I would create it later on down the line, but it's basically based on interest. So yeah, comment interested under this video. I think it's going like interested a lot of time, but nevertheless, just let me know if you want me to do a detailed video on how to convert clients on the freelancing platforms. So going forward, you want to learn on how to communicate your value and also your deliverables if you're working as a freelancer. So if you don't know how to do that before, you want to learn how to do it going forward. So if you have basic knowledge on all those things, I think you're good to go. Actually, it took me about 4 months after being laid off, and note I said 4 months because I just choose to stick and learn how the platform works. My very first project after I was being laid off, right? It was quite a ridiculous amount, but I was basically, I was still in the process of learning how it works, and overall, I was that person that was more concerned with delivering high quality work and tasks. And to be honest, that also helped me scale so fast. Even though I just, I was just starting out, and within 6 months, I'd gotten so many tasks. And when I talk to people about it, they're like, "Oh, that's not possible. They've been trying it so far." I'm like, yes, I've been trying it as well. But right now I'm trying it in a different way, and I just have to be dedicated and know that it's not going to be an instant result. You just have to be patient. If you're very new, it will take time, but at the end of the day, you get it. There are also other ways people get clients, people that do cold emailing. You can do that as well. You can reach out to people via their mails and send them a message. You can reach out to people via LinkedIn as well. If they have, you can also apply for jobs on LinkedIn jobs. There's just so many other ways that you want to explore. Just pick that part and then focus solely on that. So that's basically all on my video for today. I do hope I've been able to enlighten or help people understand or pay attention to the things that you need to have at the back of your mind while you're working that full-time role. And also, if you're someone that's trying to break into the opportunity market, especially in freelancing aspect, how to get started. And I promise I'm going to do a video on that part separately, because it's going to be like an old topic on the platform Upwork. But yes, I do hope you've learned a lot. So if you've learned in this video, do well to click that thumbs up button and also share this video to people you know would benefit from this information. If you want me to create all the videos on your portfolio or your cover letter, do well to let me know in the comment section. Okay.